Good morning, boys and girls. It's Sunday morning out here on the porch, and anyway, figured I'd stop and say hello, do a little God's Day thing. You know how I like to do that. Anyway, it's beautiful out here. I don't know what's happening with the weather here. It just fixing to be the start of June, or might even be start of June today. Actually, I think it is. Is this June 1st? If it is, it's my baby brother Donnie's birthday. So anyway, y'all wish Donnie Hayes a happy birthday, would you? Anyway, so I was watching my news feed this morning on the Facebook here, and you know, fella wrote something that I've been saying for years. And normally I don't do political stuff, you know, on Sundays, especially Sunday morning on my God's Day post. But this hit right in with God and Scripture and reality, and thought that it was really needed to be talked about. So, you know, in the beginning, God made the world. We know that. We know what the Bible says. And those of us who believe it. I'm sure there's a lot of other fill-ins in there that weren't in the Bible, you know, and that's okay. But the simple fact is, it's truth. Ain't hard to figure out. If you watch what's been going on in the world, it's all written in there. And that was written thousands of years ago. So that said, after the world was created, God created man. And he knew man needed somebody else. So he created woman. He created two halves of a whole. Without man, without woman, there cannot be humanity. It can't be procreation. We can't have babies. It just doesn't work. Excuse me. Now, for thousands of years, that was fine and normal. Now, we all know that there's some anomalies out there. People are born a little different or whatever. I believe there's probably some physical things here and there, but I believe the majority of it's probably more in the psychological. But regardless, that's not what I'm here to talk about. Everybody to their own. It ain't my place to judge. You know, there's a saying in the Second Amendment world that, and it's kind of joking, but I get it. It says, kill them all and let God sort them out. Well, what that means is, it means that in the bad world, if you got bad guys coming at you to hurt you, then don't take the time. They're coming to hurt you. Don't take the time to think and say which one's really bad enough. You can't take a chance. You have to protect you and yours. Now, don't get me wrong here, folks. I'm not talking about killing. That's the farthest person from who I am. But what I am talking about is reality and protecting our families, our world, our way of life. So this fella this morning wrote down something to the effect of one of the reasons that that the Democrats want, and I shouldn't say Democrats, let me back that up, because all Democrats, Republicans, not all are good on either side. It's not any one person, so to speak, but the liberal ideology, let's say, of today's world, not back when my father was coming along. The liberal ideology of today's world has gone haywire, wacky. They've strayed so far from reality and they fight tooth and nail for it. Now you have to ask yourself why these people fight so hard to put men and women's sports, fight so hard to diminish masculinity, to create one fluid gender thing. Excuse me. Well, many years ago, I was doing a job for a very intelligent man. He was an anesthesiologist up in Merritt Island. Did a lot of work for this gentleman, incredible guy. He was, I believe, of Indian descent, anyway, but I'll say his first name, Karam, and very intelligent man, and I really grew to like this guy. And one thing he said to me at the time was, what we're seeing right now and what we're going to see an escalation of is the demasculinization of America. Now, it may be happening around the world and in other places. But in those places, the politics are not nearly like they are here. At least in the civilized world, you know, in the democratic countries. But in America, in the United States, it has become, I don't know, disgusting's not even the word. It's become evil. Well, the Bible talks about all this stuff if you want to look at it and read it. It tells you stuff that's going to happen and has been happening, but the truth is, what this gentleman this morning said was one of the reasons that they're pushing all this stuff is men think with logic, women out of emotion. Now there's some intermixing in the two. I know a lot of women out there that think pretty logical, but the truth is, women were made with parts that men don't have. It's just the truth. Besides the obvious parts, which we're thankful for, but the truth is they were given that motherly love, that emotion, deeper emotions than most men. Men were given more emotional strength, more logical. I don't know a better way to put it than that. Two halves of a whole, people. This is why the nuclear family is so important. You know, children need that nurturing from the mother. They need that strength from the father. Not to say that mothers aren't strong. They're some of the strongest people on the planet. Much stronger than men in many ways. But what we're talking about is different strengths. And that's why man was created the way he was, and why women was created the way she was. Now, in the United States of America, one of the things we've seen is this major shift towards transgenderism, LGBTQ rights. Now, most conservatives, I can speak for myself and for most I know, don't care what you are, what you do. Again, that's up to God to sort it out. No, we don't think you should be killed, like my analogy earlier. That was just an analogy, people. But what I'm saying is God's the only judge, period. But leading to the bigger thing of this, why do you think that the liberal ideology is so hell-bent, and I use that word literally, hell-bent on pushing this so hard? Well, it's, in my humble opinion, the old redneck on a porch opinion, excuse me, if they can demasculinize, I don't even know if that's a word, demasculate, they can have more control from where they sit on high. They don't like people like me. They don't like people who think logically, who have their eyes wide open. People who see, who have the strength to call it out. And I'm just a small guy, nobody watches me. But if I was, you can bet they're going to go after me. Look what they did with Joe the plumber guy. Many of y'all may remember him. Look what they've done with Elon Musk. Anybody who goes against them, they go hard. Look what they've done to Ted Nugent. Now, some of y'all may not like Ted. He's very brash and outspoken and wide open rock and roll dude. But the man thinks with logic, masculine logic. He is strong-minded, strong-willed. He doesn't speak anything but the truth. And he's an in-your-face kind of guy. Well, they hate that. You may see a video that I posted yesterday about how they went after him. If you didn't, I urge y'all to watch it. Now, I don't believe that every single one of our elected officials that are on the liberal side believe this or even know what they're doing. They follow orders. Our country has always been run by someone else. Big money. Now I'm not talking about corporations and that. I'm talking about the highest of the high. The people behind the scenes. It's always been there. Maybe not so much in the early days, but it's more prevalent now than anything. I don't believe that Barack Obama was a bad man. He was a very gifted car salesman, I can tell you that. With his big hands and his gestures and the way he spoke. But he came out of nowhere a community activist. And he was groomed and he became a very, very wealthy, powerful man because he followed the script. Joe Biden, not a bad man. Stupid man, absolutely. Followed the script. Not a godly man, you can bet on that. He did what he was directed. He did what he was fed, never looking at the big picture. Now, any sane, logical thinking person sees that. But I have friends, longtime friends since childhood, that will fight you over it. They will tell you that he was perfectly sane, everything he did in business. Hey, buddy, good morning. Grandson stopping in to say hello. All right, buddy, hey, we're doing a video, so say good morning and then get out the way, man. Okay. Okay. All right, buddy. Hey, give me a few minutes, okay? Please? All right, man.
Are you hungry?
Okay, not right now. Thank you for checking, though. Anyway, so back to Joe there and these friends. Now, these people.
Hello.
All right, buddy. Hey, you got to let Granddad finish the video, okay, man? I know. Let me finish, okay, and we'll do something fun. So anyway, so anybody could see the decline in this man. Anybody could see the corruption. It was blatant. It was right out there. But these people will fight you, and they will go after our current president or anybody, even folks like me. You know. Okay, buddy, you sit right there.
So, why don't you still see my head a little bit?
Okay, all right, man. So anyway, they'll fight. They'll fight tooth and nail. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna get through because little man decided to join. But anyway, so the truth is, I don't know if they're blinded or they just don't care. So the simple fact is, if we continue on this path, and we allow this media machine to aid in their liberalization.
My nail grew bigger.
Okay, buddy, cool. Hey, we'll look at it in a minute, okay? Give me a few minutes, finish this up, buddy. So anyway, if we allow this to happen in the demasculinization, we will lose everything. Now, I promise you, those up there, those in power, those Congress people, they're not being demasculinized or whatever the word I'm trying to use here is, demasculated. You know, again, old redneck on a porch, just fishing for words. But anyway, they're above it all. They don't live in our world, so they don't care. They follow their script because their pockets are filled, their trough is fed. That alone should scare you. That alone should really scare you. Oh, okay, buddy. That alone should not only scare you, it should terrify you. So just think about this again, folks. I'm going to have to close it out right now. But if we allow the world to be demasculinized, demasculated, again, there I am with my made-up words. If we allow this and we no longer have that strength of man and that strength of woman, that nuclear family, those two parts of the whole, then we are lost completely. There comes a point in everything where there's no coming back from it. Now, if you want to read the good book, it tells you that there comes a day there's no coming back from anything. And I believe what's written in there comes to pass. I believe we have certain free will to, I don't know if we can change the outcome, but I know that we can facilitate our lives through everything. We have the control to not allow something else to come in, the demons, so to speak, to come in and escalate it for ourselves. Now, they may escalate the world. They may escalate everything they have control of. But I'm going to tell you, and I mean this from the heart, they do not have control over me. I have no fear. I answer to one person and one person only, and that's the man upstairs. I use my logic, my heart, my brains, what little there is, and my feelings. Yes, I do have emotions as well, to think through and see through. And I sure hope today some of y'all will listen. I hope some of y'all will not only listen, I hope that you will open your eyes. One of my sayings, eyes wide open, folks. Don't allow it to demasculate. Understand, God created man and woman for a reason. Whatever the other folks want to do, that's okay. I don't care. Don't let them push it on you, your family. If you have to shut off the TV, if you have to limit your social media, limit your kids' social media, we have to take them out of the equation. You know, I've always had a saying as well, I got a lot of them, but one of my sayings was always, you know, if you got a bad fart in an elevator, if you just ignore it, it goes away. Okay? somebody just rips one out in an elevator, I mean, sounds pretty rough, I know, but the analogy should work for you. If you ignore it, it'll fade away. If we ignore the outside influences and we don't give them power, they will fade away. I promise you that. Anyway, on this beautiful Sunday morning, God's Day in the West by God of Melbourne, I love y'all. I mean it. From Skylar, Allen, and I, and out here on the porch, we hope to see you soon. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed Sunday. And hey, if you like this, share it. If you enjoy my stuff, comment. Please let me know. I enjoy doing it for you. See you soon.